Hey guys, it's Terry Vanover, and I am the divorce strategist and admin of our little group here. Been getting a lot of great compliments on the group. I love how you guys are encouraging each other and supporting each other. So let's keep that up. And every Wednesday I go live and I answer your questions that you have about divorce and how to get through divorce. So as a divorce strategist, you're probably thinking, like, what the hell is a divorce strategist, right? So I help you come through divorce without being legally, financially, and emotionally devastated. But even more importantly, I help you to heal from a toxic relationship and from your divorce so that you can transition confidently into that next chapter of your life and find a happy, healthy new relationship. Because that's my goal, right? Is to prevent future divorces. So if you have questions, go ahead and type them in the group. I have a few here from people that, for some reason, I don't know, people were looking at our old videos and posting questions there. And I didn't get any questions posted in our helpline thing today. So every Tuesday, I'm going to post saying, hey, y'all, ask me some questions, right? Ask me some questions. So, and then on Wednesday, I'm going to answer your questions for you live. And if you join me live, you can post your questions live too. So like I said, I'm Terry. I'm the admin here. I'm a divorce strategist. I've been doing this for a number of years now, and I specialize in helping people get through divorce and heal from divorce. I have been through a terrible, terrible divorce myself in the span of a couple of months. I lost my marriage, I lost my home, became homeless, I was hit by a van, lost my health, lost all my financial credit and standing, um, lost my mom, lost family and friends. So when I say that divorce, and I think people just don't understand how overwhelming divorce is, it can be such a traumatic time in your life. And it has so much, there's so many layers to the grief that you go through when you're going through divorce. You're not just going through grief of like the current losses or your future losses. And if you've been through betrayal trauma, oh my God, you've got to deal with like loss of what you thought you had in the marriage. So there's a lot that divorce, I think, is just so complex, and so many people don't understand how difficult it is to overcome divorce and to go through the grieving process through divorce. So I have been through divorce, and my divorce, I made all the mistakes that you can make when you go through a divorce. 2.5 years, um, 2 failed attorneys, 2 failed mediations, everything that you can do wrong. I think I did wrong, all the mistakes that you make, again, costing me my home, costing me my financial credit, all those things. So I look back at that woman at that time and I'm like, who the hell was that? It just didn't even feel like it's the same person. So um, I came through it and I said, you know what? I want to help other people through this. There's a better way to get through divorce. There's so many resources out there that when you're going through it, you don't know that there's resources, there's help, there's things that you should know what to avoid and how to avoid those things. And there's lots. So I decided I wanted to help people through this time. So let's talk about the questions that I have today. So someone asked me about, oh Lord, I hope I'm still alive. I cannot tell if I am still alive. Okay, it says I'm still alive, but for some reason I don't see myself, so that's weird. So I'm just going to keep yapping. So someone asked about the financial, and I appreciate that this person kind of admitted this, that they committed financial betrayal in their marriage, and they were struggling and to get past that. So regardless of what you did in the marriage, right? We all do things that we're not proud of that bring us a lot of shame, and so I can really appreciate that you understand that what you did was wrong, that you incurred debt and maybe lied about some things to your wife and all those things. So I want to just say that forgiveness can be a huge part of healing from divorce. I do a lot of forgiveness work, and this is very controversial. I get a lot of blowback from when I talk about forgiveness, but I will tell you that forgiveness can help you so much in healing. And when we're carrying around those toxic feelings, you're not just you're not hurting the other person, right? And here's the thing: forgiveness can even be done on yourself. And I would say that forgiveness of yourself is one of the hardest things that you do. I mean, I think sometimes it's easier to forgive other people who transgressed against us than it is for us to forgive us. I personally struggled more with forgiving myself than I did the sexual abuser, which is, you know, kind of ironic, but I was able to let go of that and forgive him for doing that to me easier than it was for me to forgive myself for the divorce and the mistakes that I made in my marriage. So sometimes releasing that shame, releasing that guilt, releasing that regret, it is difficult, Ray, but when you do it, it's so empowering. And I think because I not only forgave my ex, but because I forgave myself, I think it just opened me up energetically to better relationships, to being more open, to being more compassionate. So I would urge you to work on that forgiveness for yourself, because when you forgive, you're letting go of those toxic feelings that you're holding on to. And a lot of times people don't talk about forgiving yourself, right? We think we should forgive other people, but forgiving yourself is just as important so that energetically you can open up your heart to other people. So I would urge you to think about that. So someone also asked me, I've got my little notes here. So someone else asked me about loneliness and anxiety. They are really, really struggling with loneliness and anxiety. And I talk about this. I hope you all will join me in my workshop tomorrow, because I'm going to be talking about this. And I talk about this frequently in my workshops, that anxiety, if you have ongoing anxiety, chronic anxiety, it is a sign, it is a symptom of something deeper that needs to be healed. So if you are struggling with loneliness, you're struggling with anxiety, there is some unhealed crap in there that you have got to deal with, that you have not dealt with. And what I was sensing, I kind of tap into my intuition here a little bit, but what I was sensing with this, that the underlying issues is that you're struggling with abandonment. You're feeling abandoned, you're feeling rejected. And again, like I said, it goes back to our childhood. And oftentimes these things occur in our childhood. And then when we experience divorce, all that abandonment issues, all those rejection issues, they just get triggered again. I was talking with one of my clients today, and he had a very traumatic childhood. And we have very clearly identified his abandonment issues, and his sense of his wife leaving him has left him with this, and it's opened that wound. And we're working on not only just healing that wound, but transforming that wound so that he becomes a better version of himself. Because we talked about how, look, I know you're lonely. I know that that abandonment wants you to go out and date, but he's just amazing in the fact that he understands, like, I'm not ready. I would just be using someone right now to fill that hole. And I've got to work on filling that hole myself, that abandonment issue myself. And if I go out there, I'm going to be using someone else, and I don't want to do that. And I don't want to just, you know, temporarily fill the void. I want to heal this permanently. And you know, I've had this conversation. I had this conversation with another coach on a talk show one time, and we talked about, and I used the word healing, right? But I was talking to someone today, and I said, you know what? I don't want you just to like get through this. I don't want you just to survive. I want you to come through this and become better. I want you to become a better version of yourself than you even went into the marriage with. So that's what I would invite you to think about. Like, you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to live with these abandonment issues. You don't have to use these band-aids of like just dating women temporarily to fill that hole inside of you. Listen, you can get through it, and you can face that pain head on, and you can identify it, like I was talking about with my client, and recognize it, and then heal it for good, and then come out of this even better and transform your life to become even better. And that's what happened to me. Truly, 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 it was the, like I said earlier, this was by far the darkest time of my life, for sure. But I will say that I used the stuff that I went through. I want to cuss a little bit. I used all that stuff to come out of it better, to become a better version. And luckily for me, I've remarried to a wonderful man who I think exemplifies love and generosity, and he's taught me so much about being in a relationship and being loving and being kind. And my ex-husband and I have a fantastic relationship. He was over here this morning and with his dog, playing with my dog. And his wife is my one of my best friends. We go to each other, we talk with each other, we support each other. And I tell you, like, I don't regret the divorce now. I had to live with that shame. I had to live with that guilt. I had to live with that regret that I hurt a really wonderful man, that I hurt my kids. But I look at it and, like, we all came out of it better. So something great can come out of the ashes. That's why, like, my logo is a phoenix, right? We are going to be phoenixes rising from the ashes of this. So okay, so someone else asked about their wife is not interested in having an amicable divorce. Okay, first off, yay, good for you for, like, recognizing that, hey, I don't want to just go out and hire an attorney. Because I think sometimes that's the mistake that people make. They go out there, they hire an attorney, that starts a litigation, and it starts getting really wacky and really crazy, and it starts getting negative right away. So if you have not seen the movie Marriage Story, check that out, because it's a really good example of how when you start bringing in attorneys and stuff like that, like, it starts getting really um, nasty, and attorneys have a way of twisting things. So, and I'm not saying it's not necessary, because sometimes it is necessary, but if you can avoid it, by all means. You don't want strangers making decisions for your life. Gosh, I hope I'm still going live and I'm not just chit-chatting on myself. Okay, good. It says I'm live. I only see one comment. So if you're on here and you have questions, ask me some questions. So if she has no interest in being amicable, okay, so what can you do? There's things that I do with my clients that I help them identify the patterns of their exes and what triggers them. And also, I help my clients identify their own triggers, so they understand how to communicate more effectively with their ex, so they keep things more amicable, so that they can get their way through the divorce. I don't mean get their way, but they can communicate more effectively, more constructively. So if you want to reach out to me, and we can talk about maybe some strategies and some things to avoid with your ex, some things to think about when communicating with your ex to get your way, because it really, really depends on what her triggers are, or what his triggers are, as far as how to make the divorce more amicable. Because sometimes people are being told, um, that, oh, you're going to get this, and you're going to get this, and you're going to get this, but the reality is very different. So there's some things that you can do, and some strategies, and some things that you can communicate with her that would help her to understand, traditional litigation may not be the way that you think it is, and it may end up costing you more than you think it does, and you may not end up with what you think. So I'm happy to talk to you about that, because I work with clients who have really high conflict exes. That's really what I specialize in, is helping them to diffuse those people, and work with them in a way that makes the divorce more amicable. Okay, so any other questions, any things I can help you with? I do have to run here in about 10 minutes, because I've got some things going on this afternoon. So I do have one question here. As much as I try to keep it together around her, I seem to get emotional and look foolish. Okay, So a couple of things, Ricardo, right? Like what I said before with the other gentleman, which is identifying what is causing this emotion, identifying your triggers. It's important to understand what's causing you, because if you're being rejected and this rejection is something painful that goes back to your childhood, then that's something you can learn how to heal on yourself so that you're not as emotional around you. But I also want to say, okay, you're going through a divorce. It's the worst flipping time in your whole life. You should be emotional. You should be having some emotions. This is a grieving process. And I was telling you earlier about everything that I went through with being hit by a van and losing my mom and losing all my friends and family and losing my home. Holy moly. I mean, so I know I was emotional, and I don't think that's being foolish. I think it's a matter of, like, you are under an enormous amount of stress, and your brain is like on overwhelm right now, and it's okay to to be emotional. It's okay to feel those feelings. In fact, I would invite you to feel those feelings, because I think for so many men in particular, they're told, just, ignore it. A lot of, your guy friends meaning well, like, oh yeah, she's just a bitch, just don't worry about her, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're well meaning, right? But the truth is, we need to lean into these feelings and process these feelings and learn from those feelings, because those negative emotions serve a purpose. The negative emotions that we're having serve a purpose in our healing. So until you face them and understand, like, where they started, how to heal it, how to let go of it, they're going to keep resurfacing. So that's what I would tell you to do with those emotions. So, and you don't look foolish. There's nothing, you're losing your home, time with your kids, your wife, probably everything you worked for. So if you're emotional, who wouldn't be? And I hope that you're getting from this support group just how difficult this time is, and that other people feel just like you. I just think that men in particular, they don't have a safe place to share that. So I hope that you're finding this to be a really safe place to share your emotions and understanding you're not weak. In fact, your emotions are where you find your strength, right? Carl Jung said, feelings are the language of the soul. So if you're in touch with those feelings, you're in touch with your soul. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it's very beautiful. And so I would invite you, lean into that, um, express those things. Okay. So, all right. So I don't see any more questions. I don't see any online either. So if you don't have anything else, I'm going to go ahead and end. So, all right. Well, listen, I also wanted to make the announcement today that we are going to be doing a group program in August. Yay, I'm very excited. We are going to be doing a men healing from divorce group program, and it's specifically um, only for men who've been impacted by divorce and want to heal from divorce, right? And this group is for you if you want to get over your ex, if you're ready to heal from your divorce, if you're tired of attracting the wrong women, right? Who was it? One of our men said, like, you need your Kratar, right? If you are too nice of a guy and you need to set up some healthy boundaries, this program is for you. You want real strategies, real exercises to help you heal. This is not therapy. If therapy's left you stuck, I was talking to someone who's in therapy for a year and a half, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, but like, my program is not, that's not what it's meant. I'm meant for you to get your healing strategies and feel good and move on. So, you know, so there is homework and there is real exercises and there are real things to do that you can take away from this program that are going to help you transform your life, that you're going to come out of this a better man. So if you're a professional and you feel successful, but this divorce has left you feeling like a failure, this is for you. And if you're tired of attracting the same crazy women, if you're tired of not being able to get over your ex, this program is for you. If you are a nice guy, right? That too nice of a guy, and you need some healthy boundaries so that you can have, relationships with women that are meaningful and purposeful and mutually respectful, this program is for you. So we're going to be sending out some more information on that. If you want more information specifically, you can just send me a Facebook message and I will tell you more details about that. I'd love to talk with you about it because I'm really, really excited about it. Um, so please join us, okay? So I will see you tomorrow at the workshop. So join me tomorrow at the workshop. 3 keys for finding the right woman. It's 3 keys for finding the right woman and how to stop attracting the crazies, right? And I'll see you at the workshop. And if you want more information on our group program starting out in August, please reach out to me. All right, y'all. I will see you tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye bye.